Welcome back to What Is, where we explore the big questions and unravel the mysteries of the human mind. Last time, we journeyed into the strange world of quantum physics. Today, we're taking a different kind of journey, one that delves into the very core of our existence, asking, what does it mean to be human in a world without inherent meaning? Remember, we explore 5 key areas: science and technology, philosophy and psychology, art and culture, history and society, and abstract ideas. So make sure you're subscribed and have clicked that bell icon to catch every episode. Today's journey takes us into the realm of philosophy and psychology, to explore a school of thought that grapples with the very essence of our being, existentialism. Existentialism, as a distinct philosophical movement, emerged in the 19th and 20th centuries, but its roots can be traced back to earlier thinkers and historical periods. It's a philosophy that challenges traditional ways of thinking about who we are and what our purpose is in life. It asks us to question the assumptions we often take for granted, and to confront the fundamental anxieties and uncertainties of human existence. Søren Kierkegaard, a 19th century Danish philosopher and rebellious theologian, is often considered the father of existentialism. He rejected the drab, systematic philosophy of his time and instead emphasized the importance of individual existence, subjective truth, and the passionate commitment to one's beliefs. He wrestled with faith and doubt, urging individuals to take a leap of faith into the unknown. Then came Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher who boldly proclaimed God is dead. He challenged traditional morality and religion, exploring themes of nihilism, the will to power, and the Übermensch, the individual who transcends the limitations of conventional morality and creates their own values. Nietzsche's ideas, though controversial, had a profound influence on later existentialist thinkers. The horrors of World War I and the rise of totalitarian regimes in the 20th century profoundly impacted the development of existentialism. The war shattered the illusion of progress and rationality, leaving many with a sense of disillusionment and despair. In this climate of uncertainty and anxiety, existentialism emerged as a way to grapple with the meaning of life in a world seemingly devoid of meaning. Jean-Paul Sartre, a French philosopher and writer, popularized existentialism in the aftermath of World War II. He declared that we are condemned to be free, emphasizing the overwhelming responsibility that comes with the freedom to choose our own path. Sartre's ideas resonated with a generation seeking to rebuild their lives and find meaning in a world smashed by war. In 1949, Simone de Beauvoir, a French philosopher and feminist, published her groundbreaking work, The Second Sex, Le Deuxième Sexe, which became the foundation for existential feminism. Simone de Beauvoir expanded on existentialist themes, exploring the challenges faced by women in a patriarchal society. She argued that women are often defined by their roles as wives and mothers, denying them the freedom to create their own identities and pursue their own goals. Her work became a cornerstone of feminist thought. Although he himself denied that his philosophy had anything to do with existentialism, Albert Camus, a French-Algerian writer and philosopher, also focused much of his philosophy on existential questions. He explored the absurdity of existence and argued that we must embrace it. Camus addressed one of the most fundamental questions of existentialism, among others, in his famous essay, The Myth of Sisyphus. He argued that the question of whether life is worth living is the most important one, given the absurdity of the human condition, the conflict between our search for meaning and the indifferent universe. Camus concluded that suicide was not a solution to life's absurdity. Instead, he advocated for a rebellious acceptance of the absurd, choosing to live fully and defiantly despite the lack of inherent meaning. Due to these contradictions and Camus' legacy, some contemporary philosophers, such as Graham Nicholson, considered him an existential anarchist. Another important representative of the existentialist movement was Martin Heidegger, a German philosopher, who delved into the nature of being and the relationship between human existence and the world. He explored the concept of being in the world, emphasizing the interconnectedness of human beings and their environment. The concept also highlights that we are thrown into this world, a concept Heidegger refers to as thrownness. and we have to navigate our existence through choices, actions, and interpretations. This leads to a deep engagement with our own mortality, freedom, and responsibility in shaping our lives. Ultimately, being in the world expresses the idea that existence is always relational and contextual, and that human beings are fundamentally tied to their world, in contrast to an isolated, abstract idea of being. Post-war Heidegger's work, though complex and often obscure, has had a significant influence on existentialist thought and beyond. One of the core tenets of existentialism is the idea that existence precedes essence. This means that we are not born with a predetermined purpose or identity. We are not blank slates, of course, but we are also not defined by some preordained role or destiny. Instead, we are born into this world, and then, through our choices and actions, we create our own meaning and define who we are. Existentialists also grapple with the absurdity of existence. The universe, in its vastness and indifference, offers no inherent meaning or purpose. We are born into a world that often seems meaningless, and we must confront this absurdity and create our own meaning. This can be a difficult task, but it is also a liberating one. If there is no preordained meaning, then we are free to create our own. This freedom to define ourselves comes with a profound responsibility. We are the authors of our own lives, and we are accountable for the choices we make. This can be a daunting realization, leading to feelings of anxiety and angst, as existentialist writers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus explored. If we are truly free to create our own meaning, then we also bear the weight of that freedom. But existentialism is not a philosophy of despair. In the face of absurdity, it encourages us to live authentically, to embrace our freedom, and to find meaning in the present moment. It calls on us to be true to ourselves, to create our own values, and to live a life that is meaningful to us. It reminds us that even though the universe may be indifferent, our lives are not. Existentialism emphasizes the importance of individual choice and action. We are not simply passive observers in the world. We are active participants who shape our own reality through our decisions and actions. It means recognizing that we have the power to create change, both in our own lives and in the world around us. Existentialism has been explored by many philosophers and writers, each offering their own unique perspectives on this complex philosophy. From Sartre's concept of bad faith, where we deny our freedom and responsibility, to Camus's exploration of the rebel, who challenges the status quo and creates meaning through rebellion. These thinkers have challenged us to confront the fundamental questions of existence. They have asked us to consider what it means to be free, to be responsible, and to be human in a world that often seems absurd. Existentialism is not just a philosophy for academics and intellectuals. It's a philosophy for everyone. It's a philosophy that can help us to live more meaningful and fulfilling lives, even in the face of uncertainty and absurdity. It's a call to embrace our freedom, take responsibility for our choices, and create our own meaning in a world that often seems meaningless. It's a reminder that even though life may be absurd, it is also beautiful and precious. Existentialism also sparked a creative revolution in the world of art. Its themes have been explored in countless works of literature, art, and film, often with a dark and introspective tone. Fyodor Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground delves into the psychological depths of an isolated and alienated individual, grappling with questions of free will and the nature of consciousness. Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis explores the absurdity of existence through the surreal transformation of a man into an insect. Welcome Back captures the existential angst and anxiety of the human condition, a feeling of isolation and dread in the face of an indifferent universe. And Ingmar Bergman's films often grapple with themes of death, meaning, and the search for faith in a seemingly godless world. But existentialism isn't just confined to dusty philosophical texts and highbrow art. Existentialist themes have also found their way into popular culture, often with a more accessible and entertaining twist. Films like The Matrix question the nature of reality and the illusion of free will. asking us to consider whether we are truly in control of our choices. Fight Club explores themes of alienation, consumerism, and the search for authenticity, challenging us to reject the shallowness of modern society and embrace our true selves. Animated shows like Rick and Morty often delve into existentialist themes with a comedic and satirical edge, using humor to explore the absurdity of existence and the meaninglessness of the universe. And music by artists like Pink Floyd and Radiohead often grapples with questions of meaning, identity, and the human condition, expressing the anxieties and uncertainties of modern life. So, what is existentialism? It's a philosophy that embraces freedom, responsibility, and the search for meaning in a world without inherent purpose. It's a call to live authentically, to create our own values, and to find joy and fulfillment in the face of absurdity. It's a philosophy that celebrates the human spirit and its capacity for resilience, creativity, and love. Existentialism encourages us to embrace the unknown, to step outside our comfort zones, and explore the vast possibilities of human experience. It's about recognizing that life is an adventure, and that true fulfillment comes from embracing the challenges and uncertainties that come with it. It's about saying yes to new experiences, taking risks, and forging our own path in the world. Existentialism reminds us that the present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. But the present is alive with possibility. By focusing on the here and now, we can find joy in the everyday, appreciate the beauty of the world around us, and create a life that is rich and meaningful. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this exploration of existentialism, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content. What are your thoughts on existentialism? Do you agree with its core tenets? Let us know in the comments. And as always, stay curious. We'll see you in the next episode.